Okay, let's just dive right into this. If you were expecting Google I/O 2026 to be just another keynote with, say, a flashy new gadget or a single model drop, well, think again. What we actually saw on May 19th and 20th was a massive, sweeping architectural shift. It was literally a comprehensive update across the entire developer surface. We are talking about a deep, structural push toward agent-native infrastructure.
Welcome to today's Explainer. I am super thrilled to walk you through exactly what went down. We're looking at a full-stack AI shift here. Our goal today is to basically cut through all the noise, bypass the marketing fluff, and look directly at how AI is fundamentally transforming the whole software development stack, all the way from your back-end infrastructure right up to the pixels rendering on your user's screen. So, here's our roadmap for today. Number 1, Firebase and agent-native infrastructure. 2, Android 17's agentic automation. 3, Gemma models and Flutter Gene UI. 4, the new AI-assisted developer tools. And finally, number 5, a really fascinating AI reasoning math breakthrough. Let's get moving. Starting with Section 1, Firebase and agent-native infrastructure. Let's start right at the backend layer to see how Google's tackling one of the biggest headaches developers face right now. Google used a very specific, bold framing during their session, saying Firebase is evolving into an agent-native platform. Listen, if you build LLM-backed applications, you absolutely know the pain of the prototype to production gap. Like making a cool AI demo, super easy. Scaling it, incredibly hard and honestly, really expensive. So Google is positioning Firebase's battle-tested auth, storage, and hosting as the ultimate staging ground to solve this exact problem. To pull this off, they're introducing some really radical new concepts. We've got the tight integration of AI Studio with Firebase, and this new tool called Anti-Gravity meant for, wait for it, vibe coding full-stack applications. I know, vibe coding kind of sounds like writing software with good intentions and an espresso. But the crucial point is what it actually represents. A radically shortened path from a messy AI prototype to a deployed, production-ready agent application. They literally want to make building full-stack agent apps as seamless as writing a standard web app used to be. Moving right along to Section 2, Android 17 and agentic automation. Okay, so moving up the stack from the back end to the operating system level, we see a totally radical paradigm shift. Android 17 is introducing what they call agentic automation. Basically, we're moving away from an era where apps only respond to human fingers tapping on glass. Imagine this, an AI booking a flight by virtually tapping through your app's UI all on its own. For you as a developer, this means your app might be invoked, navigated, or completely manipulated by an AI agent without a human ever directly touching the UI. And this whole automation piece feeds directly into their adaptive everywhere strategy. Jetpack Compose is being heavily positioned as the primary engine to handle this across an exploding list of form factors. We're talking foldables, large screens, desktops, cars, TVs, and XR, extended reality. So handling state consistency, permissions, and expected behavior gracefully across all these surfaces when an AI agent is suddenly driving your app, yeah, that's no longer optional. It's going to be a strict requirement for production Android apps. Let's jump into Section 3, Gemma models and Flutter Gen UI. Take a look at the end-to-end deployment pipeline Google emphasized for the Gemma open model family: discovery, cloud, desktop, and crucially, mobile. The big emphasis at I/O wasn't just flexing raw parameter counts. No, it was all about practical tooling for deployment. Google is heavily positioning Gemma for on-device and edge use cases. Think about it. If you're building a healthcare or finance app where data simply cannot call out to an external cloud API because of privacy rules, well, this is absolutely the open model family you need to be paying attention to. Now, at the presentation layer, things get seriously wild with Flutter Gen UI. This is the concept of AI-generated adaptive UI rendering happening at runtime. The pitch here is honestly fascinating. Imagine multi-platform apps that dynamically adapt their actual user interface based on AI inference in real time, rather than relying on the static layout logic developers traditionally write. It's like an app that completely redesigns its own layout based on what the user, or, again, the agent, needs in that exact microsecond. But, okay, let's ground ourselves for just a second. We really need to contrast this experimental framing with what is actually production ready. The Gen UI description we got at I/O suggests directional intent. It's a really cool look at where things are going, but actually, scratch that. There are no shipping APIs described yet. So the takeaway here, it's a brilliant playground to experiment with,
but absolutely do not go planning your core production architecture around Flutter GenUI just yet.
Moving to Section 4, AI-assisted developer tools. A very, very clear pattern emerged this year. Gemini is being deeply embedded into Android Studio. Rather than AI being the standalone web product you awkwardly tab over to, it's living right inside your IDE. The What's New session explicitly highlighted these capabilities for app development. The whole goal is to keep you in that coveted flow state, right? Letting the AI assist with code generation, debugging, and architecture directly within the context of your existing project.
All right, let's synthesize all of this. If you're a software engineer or product manager, here are your concrete takeaways from Google I/O 2026. 1. Watch Firebase closely if you're battling the prototype to production gap for agent apps. 2. You must start planning to handle Android 17's agentic automation gracefully, because your app will be used by non-humans. 3. Evaluate the Gemma pipeline for your edge and offline capable use cases. And 4. Treat Flutter GenUI as a fascinating but strictly experimental glimpse into the future.
Finally, Section 5, AI reasoning, math breakthrough.
So, stepping briefly away from the official I/O track, there was a highly significant concurrent signal in the AI world this week. We saw a reported AI-first result solving a massive open problem in combinatorial geometry. Essentially, incredibly complex spatial math. Now, I want to be perfectly clear here. The primary source for this was behind a login wall and not directly verifiable at the time of the conference, so we are absolutely treating this as an impartial data point, not confirmed analysis. But wow, if it's accurate, that is a massive benchmark. We aren't just talking about code generation or language translation anymore. We are talking about AI reasoning on incredibly hard formal mathematical problems. It basically shows that the underlying reasoning engines powering everything we just talked about are accelerating at breakneck speed.
So the big question I want to leave you with today, with Firebase going agent native and Android 17 introducing agentic automation, are you ready for AI agents, not just users, to interact with your app? Because the paradigm of software development has officially shifted. It is time to start building for the agents. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this helped cut through the noise, and I will see you next time.